ahead for maybe us individually, us as a community, and the great wide world around us, as well as we have other divination tools. So we're going to get started in a minute. I'm just going to say a few quick hellos and give the live people a chance to get their notifications. So hi, MT and Millie and Mr. Floyd. Welcome, welcome. And hi, Doreen of Children's School of Yoga. The eclipse in Jupiter Uranus conjunction. Lots going on, and let's absolutely send some good prayers and good energy to Carla, and I'm so sorry that happened to you. That's awful. So lots of love and prayers to you. And yeah, tarot time. If you guys are new or and you want to say hi and where in the world you are, that would be great. We kind of do our Sunday morning tarot times almost like a community hangout. So yeah, I'll be flashing a few comments here and there. So hi, Brooke and Millie, our White Moon readings. Welcome. Good morning. And yeah, if I miss anybody, or a couple of announcements. One, next Sunday, I'm not going to be able to do tarot time because I'm going to be in Oneonta, New York, doing an event there. So I'll be doing readings, and I'm doing a message gallery with the mediums of the oh God, what are they? I can't remember their names. It's Sunday morning. The Institute of Spiritual Development, the ISD of Oneonta. So very good. And hi, Ray. Welcome, welcome. And from the Catskills in South Carolina now, beautiful. So no tarot time next Sunday, and then we'll resume the Sunday after, of course. And what? Oh yes, and tonight at 7, I'm going to do the Earth Day channeling. I decided to move it up a day. That way, it'll be on the channel for the full Earth Day because that's tomorrow, the 22nd. So rather than do tomorrow night, I said let's do it tonight. We're going to do some channeling, work with the master teacher, some Earth Star chakra activation, as well as sending some beautiful prayers, light, and healing energy to Mother Earth and all of her inhabitants, including us. So that's 7 o'clock tonight Eastern Time here on the Medium Channel. And thank you, Mr. Floyd, for that. Yes, please smash that like button, and maybe more people will get to see this. So hi, Carrie, Stewart, welcome. All right, 22 in chat now. Yep, there are 22 in chat. So we're getting off to a slow start, but that's good. We're here. All right, so let's see what's going on. Well, as our yoga and astrology expert Doreen of Children's School of Yoga pointed out, we are currently in the midst of a Uranus Jupiter conjunction. I believe they're both sitting at 21 degrees of Taurus, if I'm not mistaken. 21 is Jupiter ruled numerology. Taurus kind of favors Jupiter, but it's kind of neutral. So right now, Jupiter's the main player. But the interesting thing is, come the 24th, that conjunction is going to move into 22 degrees of Taurus, and 22 favors Uranus. So it's kind of a draw. But they're conjunct. They're not like opposing each other. They're blending their energies. And in the sign Taurus, find out where that is in your chart. For me, it's in my 5th house. So that's kind of cool. I guess it's more about like entertainment, right? Children, joy, happiness. Lots of good stuff going on in the 5th house. Leo ruled house. So hi, Lakeside Laura, just saw you pop in, and Angela, you too. Welcome, welcome. So lots of energy with that. Uranus and Jupiter, they don't conjunct too often, every 2 to 2.5 years or so. And they don't, the last time it conjuncted in Taurus would have been, gosh, I think in the 1970s. So it's interesting. And then, of course, we had the big solar eclipse. So we're really in that energy. We're really coming into the full moon energies. It's in Libra now, or it's transiting into Libra today. I think it's already in Libra. and then it's going to hit at 4 degrees of Scorpio. So that, again, 4 degrees favors Uranus. That's Uranus ruled or influenced numerology, and um, and there's other things going on, but we're getting a lot of spikes in things like the human resonance. We're talking a lot about ascension symptoms. Um, Here, I've done a few short videos. We had a meditation for that. Um, there's also reactions to things that are going on with environmental toxins. I mean, I've noticed more chemtrailing lately. Those are usually the lower trails that don't just stay in a straight line like contrails do. They tend to bleed out and into the sky, basically. So there's that, and then of course there's a lot of with the cell towers and the EMF stuff. I have right now, I'm well armed. I've got two shungite pyramids around me, so that helps apparently. And there's some I'll call it sketchy science around it. It's hard to find your real hard, solid evidence, but apparently, and especially mainstream science doesn't really like New Earth thinking so much, but they do show it's like a compressed carbon. Like shungite's about 98.7 or 98% carbon, and it says it does have the power to kind of change frequencies to less harmful forms. So there's actually a little bit of science around that. But when you're very in tune with flow, frequency, and energy, sometimes you just feel and certain things have certain qualities. So always trust your intuition as well. So anyway, honest question. Let's see about your honest question, MT. If our calendar has been changed, how accurate would astrology be? Does sidereal astrology run off the real calendar? That's an excellent question. And there's different schools of thought on that. Sidereal astrology, which is what Vedic astrology uses, basically is acknowledging the actual constellations, whereas Western astrology is sort of like making a 12 cup pie in the sky, so to speak, and dividing the signs of that way based on where the constellations used to be before, but everything slowly shifts. So that's a really good question. That's an open debate. I'll put it that way. I tend to gravitate more towards the Western, because that's what I know. That's what I've been trained. But I could see some strong arguments for Vedic astrology. And there's a little known system of Tibetan astrology also. I forgot what book I saw that in, but it's kind of amazing because they'll take your birth chart, not when you were born, but when you were conceived. So people, from ancient Tibet knew when they were conceived. The interesting thing is I knew when my son was conceived because the light turned pink. I felt the angels. It's the only time I felt that. It's the only time we got pregnant. Me and my son's mom, and we both knew it. We both looked at each other and said, "Do we want to have a baby?" Like, all right, let's have a baby. So we had probably the best intimacy, or at least the top 5 of our entire marriage, that morning, and it was outdoors too. It was really beautiful. So anyway, to cut to the chase of the story, I ran a chart on when he was conceived. My son Odin. I did another chart after he was born, and my God, the parallels were uncanny. Both of them had grand crosses, both when he was conceived and when he was born. Both charts had grand crosses in it. So those are 4 planets creating a basically a cross, and the one in his birth is 15 degrees of the fixed sign with a moon in Scorpio as the centerpiece of that. So there's a lot going on beneath that very calm exterior of his. But anyway, so different strokes for different folks, right? And so I think it comes down to what speaks to you, right? So anyway, I'm just looking at some of your others. I mean, your grandpa was from Croatia. I believe you were physical. Let me see if I'm getting this whole comment. Yes, my grandpa from I believe you were one when you were physically born. Okay, interesting. And interesting question. I was born on Aries, 1980. Literally, my birthday fell on this horse. Yeah, a couple of reasons for that. I mean, you're still in Aries, but yeah, couple of things. One, it's a leap year, so basically March, what would have been March 1st became February 29th. So everything to date back, but also every, what is it, 100 years they skip leap year. I think it's every 100 years, but they didn't do it this year because it's a complicated thing. So what we're gonna find, for the remainder of the century, I think, is that like our solstice dates, our equinox dates are going to be a little bit earlier, like a day earlier than they used to be, just based on the changes in the calendar. But you're still an Aries, but you're a cusper, so you're both. So you have the benefit of both. Yeah. All right. Good questions, everybody. Yeah, yeah. So often, I mean, not everybody's that attuned to energy. Obviously, I mean, I had my initial awakening in 1978, and had done, fair amount of spiritual work before that. I mean, I knew, exactly what I knew, and I think a lot of people do. So we're going to go into some tarot, being that it's tarot time, and also I figured you guys would like that. Yeah, right. So I'll keep an eye out for that. Yeah. So MT saying that I know enough about it, but I recently looked at mine on the sidereal site, and it was completely different. I should do that. I should really do my Vedic, because you know I think my intuition says that it's a very good system of astrology, even though it's different than what I'm used to. What I'm used to doesn't necessarily mean it's the best, right? If I thought that, that would kind of make me a narcissist or something. Um, but then anyway, so let's get into some tarot stuff, and so we'll do our meditation card also. So meditating with tarot, like any other meditation, it starts with presence, starting with the breath, getting present, relaxed, open, and then you step into the card basically. And as soon as you step into the card, obviously in your mind, you're not going to physically fit into a tarot card. So you step into your card, and first order of business is how do you feel? Our feelings, our emotions, our feelings in general are amazing indications of energy and frequency. But the key is you have to get out of your own way. So you have to get out of your own emotions, and you have to get to a place of presence and a place of openness that way. And then when you step in, whatever you're feeling, you're picking up the energies inside that card. Every tarot card, like a world or a universe unto itself, really. And um, and it's amazing. It's a system of divination, meditation. I think it's like the book of wisdom. Sometimes I look at that within these 78 cards, every conceivable situation of life is represented. And to give you a brief history, and the regulars know this already, because I speak on this from time to time. According to Rachel Pollack in her book 78 Degrees of Wisdom, she speaks of an artist named Bonifacio Bembo that created Tarocchi, which was prints that depicted medieval imagery, even though he was a Renaissance artist in the court of King Ferdinand II in Spain, I believe. Or is that Italy? I think it was Spain. I have to reread the book, obviously. And it was like a game, but scholars later on were able to get deeper information on that, and it's more than that. It was like wisdom. It's like these medieval prints in the Renaissance, and numerically, and all that stuff. Numerology is very powerful because everything in the universe is numbered. So numbers, the way numbers behave, teaches how the universe behaves. Long and the short of it. So anyways, they found correspondences in the Kabbalistic tree of life, the tree of life in the Kabbalah. There's 22 paths, 22 Hebrew letters, 22 major arcana cards. and the minor arcana cards fit all in the Sephira, the 10 spheres of the tree of life. So anyway, very, very, very interesting stuff. And it was more known as like a tool for meditation and developing wisdom. I mean, of course, I don't know the full history, but from what the little bit that I understand, it really became more of a divination tool more around the later 1800s with scholars like Israel Regardie and Aleister Crowley and of course A.E. Waite that the Rider Waite decks are named after. So anyhow, hi Bella, hi Yvonne, hi MDR, and anybody else that I missed, welcome. And for MDR saying the Vedic for herself is off. Okay, thanks for sharing that too. I'd still be interested in what my Vedic is saying. Anyhow, so let me do our meditation card. Now I need to clear my mind. So you hear, sometimes water is the magic spirit connector. Okay, I found it now. Ooh, I like this one. I mean, it came out reversed from my perspective. Still the Ace of Cups. We've been getting a lot of these Aces of Cups, a lot of this very romantic stuff. So let me know when you meet your honeys, everybody. But anyway, Aces are new beginnings. Cups are more about the emotions of water. So this week might be a tarot meditation to travel through your emotions. And emotions are interesting things, right? It's energy emotion, right? But when we have an emotion, it triggers the hormones in the body. So basically our emotions are chemicals in our body. Over a simplistic way of saying it, but it's true. And so the cups can represent the hormonal system or the fluids in the body also, because it's a water element. Most of our emotional responses have been programmed into us by society. So we have reactions and responses to things in our life that we don't even think that where did those responses come from? Did they come from our higher selves, the part of us that's part of innate wisdom and divine intelligence? Or did they come through our experiences in childhood and early adulthood? And we don't think about stuff like that. I mean, I do more and more because I'm, as you guys know, or some of you know, I follow Joe Dispenza's work, and I really take it to heart not to be my reaction, but rather step outside of myself and observe how I'm reacting to people in the environment, because then I'm observing the programming. I'm no longer am the programming. And that's the first step of awareness, and awareness is the first step of change. So make this, I feel like they're saying, make this a little bit of a travel through your emotion, through your responses, how you feel when things come up, your self dialogue, because our emotions affect our thoughts affect our emotions. If we feel crappy, we're likely to have more negative self dialogue, right? I mean, I know that's true with me. I'm sure it's true with most of you guys also. So this could be that. Aces are new beginnings. This is like a new beginning of emotions. And once you master emotion, they become a great power source, because if you can cultivate the right emotions, you can create things in your life, just like that happens anyway. If I'm uh, show up in a certain situation with a certain emotion, people are going to respond to me in a certain way, and that's going to affect what I create in my life. So law of attraction isn't just about frequency and energy. There's a very mundane and practical aspect to it. What you feel, people feel your energies, right? You feel when somebody's in a bad mood, right? You feel somebody's bad vibes. Well, they feel that also from us. And they're not always conscious of it, but they'll respond in kind to that. So understand the emotions. That's the key to mastering this physical life, is understanding and mastering the emotions, right? That makes sense, right? So uh Years, maybe that's okay. So I'm just looking at your comments. Yeah, not every one of you right now. There's 30 on the chat. I mean, Tarot Time's kind of a a medium channel community event. So we rarely get over 300 views on Tarot Time. So but at least 200 views. Yeah, it's every message is not going to be for every single person. Absolutely. Very good. Yeah, I like that because there is there's a water lotus here. Very good observation. Blindly inspired. Not bad for somebody that's blind. I'm just teasing, just teasing. Uh, but I love your handle. Blindly inspired. Yeah, kind of reminds me of a movie that I talk about. It was called Circle of Iron, but it was originally going to be called The Silent Flute, and David Carradine played 5 different roles. And one of his roles, he was like the master, but also the villain, and he was blind. And basically, the seeker, his name was Cord, was asking him, "How can you can't see? How do you know?" And he said, "Because I'm not blinded by what I see." Basically, was his response to that. My cup is full, spot on. Yes, and there's a little chick there also, so birth of sorts. So anyways, glad to see that your cup is full. It's Lakeside Laura, very good. Mastering the emotion. So that's our meditation card. You can take a snapshot of this. Get relaxed, step into the card. What do you feel? Maybe you'll meet some other guides, or you'll encounter other energies, or you get some insights. Um, but also water cleanses. You can set the intention to cleanse negative emotions. Sometimes we absorb emotions from the world or other people, and they kind of become our emotions in a way. So doing a little bit of like water meditation. I like waterfalls to clear all negative emotions, basically as well. So if you have your own deck, you can pull your card, get a mental snapshot, get very relaxed, step into the card, and have a good meditation this week. Actually, this will be for 2 weeks, because we can't do tarot time next week. All right, so let's do our 3-card spread. It's next on my agenda for the morning. I will classic. I like this kind of like your computer said to me, close your eyes and listen to your heart. Absolutely. That's spot on. Speak is spot on. Yeah. Hi, Lisa Marie. Uh, all right. So anyhow, I just feel like Spirit saying our minds are very powerful. So we have the power to change things of how we respond and how things work for us. It takes discipline. Minds get very cranky when you try to change them and try to block you. It takes a lot of discipline. Okie doke. So let's do a 3-card spread. Sorry, I need to get a wet towel rather than keep licking my fingers. Sorry about that habit. Okay. And my guides are being funny. Say, yes, that's what you're telling people. You can change your habits. Yeah, right. Thank you. Yeah, right. I found my card. Spirit has a sense of humor. I love mirth. I don't mind humor at my own expense either. I think it's healthy. Keeps us our egos in check a little bit. All right, interesting. My first impression is a lot of clashing of energies. It's almost like the high getting higher, the low getting lower. So I think what we're going to see in the world around us is some really hopeful stuff. You have some knowledge of people that are trying to make a difference, or things that we know are wrong in the society that have been covered up rising to the surface. Russell Brand's done a lot lately on things on the how can we put this, the big V for a global event that covered most of the world from 2020 up until the present, really. And just like these people more stepping forward, just saying that what was presented to the public was not what science knew about the whole agenda. And one of the things that's been coming out is that there was pre-knowledge. I've been talking about this since 2020. It's like some conspiracy theories are just that they're theories. Some of them are basically rabbit holes that are just thrown into the mix to try to confuse people, but some become factual. So this is one that may actually become a conspiracy fact before too long, and more evidence is coming out. But basically, they're saying they knew that the big V for the big P was never going to stop the virus from spreading, basically, and that was known. So there's a lot of guilting and shame. You better get your jab, or you're gonna make some poor old person sick and die, and somebody with immune compromised conditions or whatever. But it was known that doing the V alone wasn't going to prevent you from being a carrier and a transmitter of the virus, basically. So, a lot of this stuff gets hush hush, but there are people, like Russell Brand. He's an interesting character. Some people take it with a grain of salt or whatever, but he has a habit of always producing like articles and things to back up what he's saying, basically. Of course, we never know until we know, and there's always a lot of manipulation and misinformation through media and many public outlets. So, this information age with social media, in theory, it could be a really good thing, but in a sense, it's not, because a lot of false information gets on social media and people believe it, and it makes people very confused. So it's a lot of smoke screens that come up, basically. So anyhow, so swords can be about information, and but the Empress card, again, there's this thing about birth. Like, we got the Ace of Cups before. This is the Mother card also. And so, I mean, some of you may be having a baby, or one of your relatives are. I mean, again, if there's over 200 people, somebody's going to know somebody who's pregnant that's watching this. But how about birth of ideas? How about like births, like new beginnings in your life, and conceiving new things, and nurturing and gestating, a new plan, a new direction in life. Whether it's a spiritual practice, or a business, or anything of that nature. Whatever it is. I always take this as kind of a good energy. So, this is positive. And also the Four of Cups is like, think outside the box. The number 4 is the numerology of thinking outside the box. 4 is a square. It's Uranus ruled. Uranus does not conform. So we have to get outside of this whole program mentality. Easier said than done, but the more you meditate, the more you practice presence, the more you can dwell in the heart. Hearts can't be programmed. It's literally impossible to program your heart, but your hearts think. They just think in a different way. And there's brain cells, or former brain cells, in the heart also. So when you're open at the heart, then your brain, your thinking process is more aligned with the heart frequency, which is resistant to programming and resistant to the social conditioning that shapes our thinking, shapes our ideas, and limits our perceptions of what's going on, or what our lives are, or what potential we have, or what we could be doing, basically. So this is a really good week. Mercury station for a full 10 days at 16 degrees of Aries. 16 is the Tower card. So things are needing to fall, and Mercury's communication and movement, and we call it a station for 10 days because it stays at the same degree point. And honestly, I'm taking a slight liberty because it's going to dip to about 15 point 0.99 degrees for a minute, but it's going to be within 16 degrees for 10 days. So a lot can fall. The tower has to fall to build a new and a better society, built on a stronger foundation. And there may be issues in your life that some of the structures in your life just need to tumble down. It's never an easy time. A tower experience is never easy. But the more you can be in your heart, and more you can be in trust, and more you can be with spirit, you can more gracefully let these things fall and know that this is just to allow you to build on a stronger and better foundation in your life. So basically that's part of that energy. And yeah, again, the Four of Cups. So there's a new beginning. Somebody, I know of at least one of you, and maybe more, that have been looking for a new job and stuff like that. This can come up as an offer. Basically, sometimes the Four of Cups is more neutral of an offer. So, or it could be that at first you don't see the value of it. Because, I mean, in this deck, it's a little bit different, but in the Rider-Waite deck, the figure's got its arm crossed, and the cloud is offering the new cup, and he's kind of not shaking his head, but he's got his arm crossed, like he's not completely open to that new beginning. So it doesn't always come in the form that we want. And yeah, for some of you, this can be a good thing about romantic stuff, especially if you have a partner and you've gone through your paces with all this Uranus energy, all this eclipse energy or whatever. People are a little bit short-tempered, easily triggered, and things like that. So this would be a good time to sort of talk things through and make up. And for some of other of you, that if there's somebody that you like or admire, but they seem to be either ignoring you, or they seem not interested, that could start to change. So I think there's going to be some better energy or better news about this. Now, this can also represent money. I know, a few of you are, or most of us are, interested in what's going on in the economy. I've heard a few predictions that are right around now that the stock market was going to crash. They cited April 20th. I think it has something to do with the Uranus and Jupiter conjunction in the sign of Taurus, right? Or people were getting channeled information. Now, I could see some volatility, and I spoke on it. In fact, in the last forecast I did, the full moon forecast, as well as the monthly one, I did speak on the possibility of some things happening around the economy. Whether a full-on crash, I'm not feeling it, but I can't say it's off the table either. But I think a lot of changes. But again, it's a part of a corrupt system. Your stocks, it's basically buying into companies, buying into corporations. I heard that Bitcoin was up. For those of you that do crypto, if that's a good thinking outside of the box way of investing. You just got to know what you're doing. And I'd personally, before I invested in that, I would want to understand what the freak they are in the first place. I don't understand this whole crypto thing or whatever, or who decide which ones go up and which ones go down, and how that all works. I mean, with the old-fashioned stocks, you kind of know if the company's doing well, your stocks are probably going to go up, and you can kind of anticipate the flows of society and invest that way. As I'm talking, Spirit's saying, well, safe investments right now, unless you really are very savvy about things. And historically, when there's crashes or dips in the stock market, usually over time it comes back stronger than ever. So things are going to be up and down. There's a big reset that's happening in the world. There's a big economic reset. Some people that follow that line of thinking call the quantum economy, I think, versus what we have now, where it's going to be much more fair and much more balanced for everybody. But the corrupt and unfair system has to fall. And as that changes, it can affect our investments, it can affect our money and stuff like that. So, be prepared. I don't feel doom and gloom around that. And in fact, the Empress would be a really good sign about economy and money in general. But, it's a broken system, it's a corrupt system. And more people are waking up, and there are people that are working to try to change that. So, anyways, Michael's saying gold and silver. Last I checked, did silver reach 30, 30 yet, or close to it? I mean, that's not like a big gain, but my silver is up a few dollars, which is nice. They will not bankrupt or default. Gold is tier one asset. I'm sure you said gold and not golf. I'm sure that's what you meant there. And your speedy recovery, Millie. I'm missing some of your comments here. So congratulations, Brooke. Oh, congratulations, Brooke, for Skyla. Oh, that's beautiful news. I think that came out in her reading, or one of her readings. Yeah, recovering snapped out of anesthesia. Oh yeah, yeah. I know about that. So good healing. Oh, Adam. So yeah, let me know what you're saying. Know about. Yeah. Sorry. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Yeah. I knew that. Yeah, okay. Right, right. So yeah, sorry. Gold is a tier one asset. Yep, yep. Very, very good. So these are the things that'll withstand the test of time. Gold or precious metals have always been the standard of wealth. So I don't see that changing, and so that's a good thing to be in. All right. Congratulations, Grandma Brooke. Congratulations. Yeah. So I'm gonna put these down for a second because I'm drinking tons of water. I hate to leave in the middle of a live stream, but I've got to for a second. But I'll be right back. Just hang in there. Enjoy my backdrop. I'm back. I've had it's one of my like ascension things or reactions to toxin or whatever it is I'm getting. I've got like hives and itchy welts all over my body, so I'm trying to really flush it out with a lot of water. So again, apologies for leaving you for a second. Let's move on to our silver's 2873. Okay. Gold. Wow, gold definitely went up. I wish I'd invested in gold a year ago. um would have made money. Yeah. So I think I went into silver when it was at 22 or 21 something. So mine's up a little bit anyways. Um all right. So let me put this here. So I made my Native American deck that I like to use also. It's called the Native American Tarot. I just should put this somewhere where it's convenient. Here we go. So what we got is Chief of Blades. So that's like the King of Swords in the tarot. That's a very kind of an intellectual energy, but he's also got a rifle. So I mean, it could be very, very much around warrior or warriorship also. Um, and it's kind of like the figure just sort of, it's almost like he's being a sentinel, like an armed guard in a way. Uh, and what else can I get about this card? I'm just looking to see what else I can pick up about that. And there's no other figures, and all right, but yeah, and sometimes you can get your own meetings through what you see in the images and stuff like that. But yeah, this is like the King of Swords, so it's like kings are leaders or rulers or chiefs in the Native American systems, and I think it's about sometimes this could be more about like truth and more knowledge and wisdom that's coming out. I just want to peek in my other cards. We had the Page of Swords also reversed. So I think a lot like I'm just getting like information wars and stuff like that. So again, I think this is partly a process of the of more truth and more information coming out. And so I wanted to go back to your comments for a second because I know I missed a few that were really good. Gold and silver, all right, very good. Is the head of the snake. Yeah, all right, so this is a good comment. Somebody said something that I wanted to powerful. All right, so I've missed a lot of this. Yeah. I was talking about the vaccines. Oh yeah, love and blessings to your dad. Yeah. Oh, he passed already. Well, love and blessings to the other side from him as well. All right, all right. So you guys are a lot of good. The chief is saying so he doesn't have to get ready. Yeah, there's something along those lines that I was trying to say. Yeah. Right. I know. Yeah. So it's like we don't want to crash, but it until everybody knows that it's broken, it's not going to get fixed. I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So what else do we have here? Let's look at what Isis is saying. So I have my Isis Oracle deck with me today. I've got a lot of decks with me right now. I just feel like there's so much of this Egyptian energy. It's like old Earth, but it's new Earth also. And it's probable, if not definite, that the old Egyptian culture, especially if you go pre-Pharaoh Egyptian culture, was an offshoot of Atlantis. So they had a lot of those gifts still, basically. And I do believe a lot of their deities, like Sekhmet's the lion goddess. I mean, we have pretty clear information thanks to Dolores Cannon and others of feline people that have lion or cat faces, but more humanoid bodies from Vega, the Lyran system. So it's very probable that a lot of the mythological gods and goddesses were from other planets or other dimensions. So anyway, this is the card that's sort of jumping out. And then what we got is Temple of Lapis Lazuli, goddess of the ancient sky. So Lapis Lazuli is very good stone for like clearing our mind, clearing our bodies. It's very protective, very and there's symbols and there's a 5-pointed star which looks like a dome over that. And it's within what's that? A 7-pointed star? No, a 6-pointed star. So that could be like either a Star of David or in 3 dimensions a Merkaba or star tetrahedron. So very interesting. So maybe it's a message to do a little bit of calming and clearing because that's that blue energy, that blue stone, and of course I want to just peek at the meaning for a second also. So I don't know these cards. Like I don't have them committed to knowledge or memory. I love them. Lapis. See if I can find this in a blade. Oh, it's Temple of Lapis Lazuli. Okay, I have to look at the temples. Here we go. So quickly, your soul is very ancient, beloved, and does not only herald from the earth, it holds much special wisdom of star people from civilizations far and near, with unique high vibrational awareness that can help humanity transition from a civilization based in fear to a love based culture. You're guided to come into deeper acceptance of your own inner knowing. I think I've read enough. I think we get the message. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Floyd, because you're the one who gifted me this deck in the first place. Very relatable card. I have Isis card book out too. So you're reading it also, yes. And I do too. That's beautiful. Beautiful stone. Has Isis energy. Very good. Awesome. Hey, happy birthday, Dakota. Yeah, a lot's going on with Aries. Yeah, we have a very strong conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus in your sign right now at 21 degrees. So if you're born around 21 degrees, you're being really activated by higher mind and higher frequencies right now. So get a lot of rest and drink a lot of water, like me, and having to pee every half hour, but it's all good. um, so let me move on. Frequency of the week. No, actually, I'm grabbing my Kyle Gray deck. This one's the Divine Masters Oracle. So thanks to Doreen of Children's School of Yoga, I'm now the proud owner of two of Kyle Gray's decks. One's more amazing than the other, I have to say. Um, we've turned this one over. This is not the one. All right. Here we go. Right to this card. That was a very easy pick. Hortus. I got Horus in a short form video that I released Friday. Also, manifestation vortex beliefs makes manifest, thoughts attract and create. And I think it's just a reminder that whatever we hold this frequency in this dense physical universe, physical world that we live in, it's not intellectually available to know, but everything's energy. So our thoughts, our emotions, they have a they affect the quantums, the subatomic realities, and that in time affects the macro. So short of being, it's just a reminder that we do manifest our reality. We do it individually and then we do it collectively because we're part of a collective also. So sometimes when people do law of attraction, they have to be mindful. Firstly, we live in a collective. So what they're creating affects what you create. It doesn't stop you from creating what you desire. You just have to be aware of that. And also, I find it's very prevalent with a lot of law of attraction teachers to not to talk about karma or soul contracts or stuff like that. And sometimes we have to address and solve those soul contracts before we can attract or create what we desire in our life. Otherwise, our higher self's not allowing it to happen. So if you've been doing law of attraction work and you've been doing it right and nothing's been happening, it may be a soul contract that you're addressing at this time. But the point being is that beliefs manifest. Belief is so powerful. What we believe colors our whole perception of everything, and it carries into the other side. And I talk about this, and I have to find a lot of these studies I can't find on the internet anymore. I looked this one up, I couldn't find it, but I heard this years and years ago, and it was a real thing that study on people that had near death experiences that Christians tended to, when they went through the tunnel. Not everybody that has an NDE experiences the tunnel and the light, but when they do, the Christian people saw a white light and the Jewish people tended to see a blue light. But God is the same. It's just our belief is what makes it a different light. It's what we believe and we project into our perceptions, basically. So in any event, so So this is a good time to manifest. We're around the full moon. Full moons are good manifestation times also. Yeah. And if Doreen's still on, which I'm sure you still are, if you want to add anything to that, because I know you study with Kyle, you feel free, have at it. And so now I want to do our frequency of the week. Thinking of REM song, "What's the Frequency, Kenneth?" about Dan Rather. All right, so frequency of the week, and this is the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. So, what sacred geometry? What do we need activated this week? Belief. Well, we've gotten this card. We get all these repeats all the time, and I always mix them up, so it's not like I'm picking the same card. But we're just talking about that, right? I love the synchronicities. Yeah. Uh and what it says is the frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection for source. So let's believe in ourselves. That's so important. Believe in ourselves. Don't let all others diminish that. People are good at trying to knock down our beliefs and our belief system or impose their belief systems upon us, basically. You see a lot of that in certain religions or religious programming, basically, that oh yeah, I support free will, God is love, but believe what I believe, or else you're gonna go to somewhere other than heaven, basically. So feel free basically for that. Yeah. Um yeah, beautiful card, beautiful energy, absolutely. So you can get more of a vibe on that um by just maybe gazing in the middle and just absorbing this and getting the activation so that you can really understand. Again, much of our beliefs are programmed into us, and most of it happens by time we're 95, or I think they say 97 or 98% of our programming happens in our first 7 years of life. And it's what we believe. It's not conscious. So, it's other people's belief systems that are passed down to us, and they were imperfect. And then, if we don't clear that and adopt more spiritual beliefs, understanding, like a lot of people believe that I'm a body, I'm my thoughts and emotions, that I am what I am. I can never change, but you're not your body. You have a body. You're an immortal soul and an immortal spirit. And when you have an awakening and experience energy and experience flow, you transcend that, and basically that happened to me in 1978. I was not spiritual. I was smoking a lot of weed and studying meteorology in college, basically, and then it hit me. So I mean, I shouldn't say I wasn't spiritual. I always had a spiritual minded inkling. Even as a child, I wanted to see the shows on the real witches and the psychics. And I love Star Trek and sci-fi and all that stuff. So I shouldn't say that I wasn't spiritual, but not to the point of thinking that there's something other than my physical being, basically. Anyway, I think that made sense. All right, moving right along here. So I'm using for our totem animal message, I'm using the medicine cards now from the Native American teachings. So these are only North American animals. What do you guys think? 22 likes, 42 watching. Who did not exchange the energies, Adam, and hit the like button? Who did not do that? Feel sorry for the abused children. So many are disrupted. Yeah, MDR. I do too. Yeah, send them a lot of love. Yeah. You read and where to be and look out for Lyran meteor showers. Yeah, the Lyrans are coming from, and I love the name. So if you know where the Lyran constellation is, that's where to look for the Lyran meteor showers. I don't know. Is that near? Although it's getting, as the spring wears on, it gets harder for me to see. Not Vega. Sirius. In the winter, it gets right over in the mountain. I get such a good view of Sirius, and it blinks and it does Morse code in my mind when I gaze at it. So I think there's some portal or transmission from Sirius, and I think Lyrid is right around there. I have to go into my Skywatch and find that out. All right. Anyway, back to the totem animals, Native American. Yes, this one. And this one is the Black Panther, number 52. And this was an ad. Originally, these had 44 totem animals based on the 44 medicine shields of the Plains people, of the nations of the Great Plains. And they added a few. And my martial arts teacher was literally a Black Panther. Although they said that they were called the Panther Party, not the Black Panthers, but their logo is still a Black Panther. 42, 52, not 42, 52. I don't know this one. I mean, all the big cats to me are about strength and about pride, but Black has that kind of mysterious sort of like you know being a warrior of the night, so to speak, or the hidden, embracing the unknown is what they say. So embracing the unknown, and Black and oh, Midnight Jaguar, wash me with your courage and steal me with your grace, so I may know the value of the void of time and space. Teach me all your lessons, how to face the dark unknown. Let me bravely leap into shadows all alone. Very good. Yeah, we've got to embrace the unknown. We've got to step into the shadows, because what we believe is a reflection of what society believes. So the more we can step into the void, or the place of non-existence, a good meditation to do is, when you practice presence, try to find those spaces of non-existence within the existence. You can't intellectually do, just set your intention, because we go in and out of the void constantly, many times per second, because we're part light, we're part dark. We only see the light or aware of the light, but there's a part of us that's in that realm of non-existence, spiritual form manifestation, which is what the Fool card in the tarot represents. It's key zero. Zero is nothing, no thing. So zero is the void, that all came from the void, and all will return to the void in the end. So wonderful. Thank you, Katie, for that. The flash one. Third Eye Crown. Thank you for pointing that out. Very good. And what else do we have? All right. Last but not least, I've Doreen Virtue's Angel Therapy card to get a final message about that. Okay, 7 o'clock tonight. We're doing transmissions to work with our Earth Star chakra, to work with our energy fields, to clear negativity, for rebirth, and to send a lot of love and healing to Mother Earth for Earth Day. So we're going to do that here on the channel 7 tonight. If you can't make it live, it'll be up as a replay. It'll have the same power. So Sunday night's not convenient for everybody. So I get that. So last but not least, and then Tuesday is the full moon, so I'm going to be doing a transmission with one of the archangels. They haven't told me which one yet, so we're going to do 2 energy transmissions with the master teachers. For those of you that are new, this is frequency channeling, so I'm able to open my vehicle up. These beings work with my energy fields, and as I'm leading the process, they're able to access your energy fields and affect and raise your frequencies also. And you don't have to be live for that to happen. So that's the beauty of it. So base chakra, what were we talking about? The Earth Star chakra. All right. So base chakra, choose only positive thoughts to describe your home, career, finances, as your words determine your outcome. And yeah, one of my shorts this week was about power words. So this is all very, very connected. And what we say, we're not conscious of it, but every word has an energy. There's an intention. There's an image. There's a feeling around every word. It's really the feelings that are powerful, but the words elicit those feelings. So if we become more aware of how words make us feel, and the more we meditate, the more we practice presence, the more aware we're going to be of that, the more we're going to understand that what we say, what we keep repeating, we create that in our reality. So whatever you keep thinking about, and if it's charged with emotions, you're creating that in your reality, basically. So be aware of that. So sometimes it's easier said than done. So describing it sounds very trite. And it takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of discipline. But the idea, we're here to change our mind, to change our emotional um, tendencies to the world, to change our frequencies, our vibrations, in order to grow and ascend, and to help this humanity, help our global society descend, and connect with spirit and the extraterrestrials and the master guides and angels. So anyway, that's what I got for you now. And how a lady in blue, interesting. Yeah. So we've gotten a lot of blue. So that's a good observation. Blue is higher mind. Blue links with the third eye and the throat chakras, divine communication, divine sight, peace, harmony. So blue brings a lot of peace and a lot of tranquility. I think I'm going to do a short video. Maybe I'll do it for tomorrow about colors. All right. And we program ourselves, yeah. And Venus named after the Roman goddess of love and peace. To the Greeks, this was Aphrodite. To the Egyptians, the goddess Isis. And to the Venetians, the god Astarte. And to the Norse, is it, or the Celts, the goddess Freya. Also, we'll add that one to the mix, since you're so amazingly up on your mythology. That's where we get Friday from, Freya's day. That's Venus's day. So that's a good day to do like love and money rituals, just for an FYI for all you guys. And I love you. Wait, Freya's Celtic, right? Not Nordic. Millie probably knows that, or some of you know that. Yeah. Yes, love Freya. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Love you too. And we'll see you, some of you at 7, some of you Tuesday at 7. And there's always going to be short form videos coming out. And I have a powerful affirmations for the Thursday upload, success affirmations, that I crafted using my affirmation times 3 system. So that's going to be our if you want to change our mind and change our reality, we'll have affirmations for that coming up on the Thursday upload. All right. Love you. Ending. Bye.